This week's live Monday music motivation. I was looking at the video from last week and saw that I said live weekly warm up instead of Monday music motivation because I've been so used to saying that for so long. It was really funny that I didn't even notice in the moment that I had said that. But Monday music motivation is what we're here for, just giving you a little bit of food for thought and things to hopefully inspire you a little bit, motivate you a little bit, and get you organized for a successful week on your clarinet journey. So, for today, what I wanted to talk about was something that kind of fun that I noticed. This year, just last week, was the first one that my wife and I joined a community band. It's really just for fun. My wife played clarinet as well in high school, and that's how we met. And she definitely didn't go on to do clarinet professionally like I have. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm sharing everything around, and sometimes things weird. Facebook changed how they share things to pages. But in any case, we joined a community band, and it's just something that's fun for us to do. And my wife played in a community band in college a little bit, but hasn't played hardly at all since then. And it's been almost 10 years already. It's been like 8 years since she last played in a community band. And even then, she wasn't as serious as she was in high school and wasn't practicing too much. But now we're in a band again. So we came back after Christmas, right at the start of the new year, and we're like, you should probably practice a little bit and remember how to play the instrument. Make sure that we have reeds that work. Make sure we have an instrument that's working for you as you go into actually playing with other people for the first time in almost 10 years. That first rehearsal was last week. It went really well, but there were some interesting takeaways from that first practice session together that I think are worth sharing with everybody. That first practice was also, I had taken a little break. I took about a week off for the holidays, so I hadn't been playing a ton either. So I was sort of getting back into it after a very short break. She was getting back into it after a very long break. And the thing that really kind of resonated for me and I think was the interesting takeaway is no matter what level you're at, pretty amateur. She was like a really quite a good player in high school, but like never took lessons, never practiced that much. She was just kind of good in band. So that sort of like amateur level to me, having years and years of study and lots of tons of practice time at that professional level, it was fascinating that the problems that we were encountering were very similar. With her, it was on a little bit different level where she was like working through the chromatic scale and trying to uh, remember the fingerings and get her fingers to go where she wanted. And then for me, practiced a little bit longer than her and was working on one of the pieces that I was working on, but I still had some fingering problems. For me, it was on like a trill from G sharp to A, and I was like, well, do I want to use this fingering or use the other alternate fingering? And that sort of tripped me up a little bit, was deciding which one of those fingerings to use. For her, it was, I'm playing a chromatic scale. Which pinky do I use? But it's the same problem of which fingering is going to be best here. Which fingering can I get my fingers coordinated with and good at doing? It's just in a little bit different context at a little bit different level. Another one that happened was we were playing through a piece and her mouth and embouchure was just like completely destroyed and tired. And even after that piece, mine was a little bit too. And then when I went on to play my longer, more in-depth pieces, my embouchure was tired as well as I was sort of getting back into it. So I was able to go a little bit longer, but my embouchure still got tired and still broke down eventually. And it's just a perfect example of like the problems don't really change. It's just the level that you're working at that changes a little bit. So I want you to take this into your practice and sort of your ideas of where you're going on your clarinet journey. I hope that this doesn't feel too much like a downer where it's like, sorry, you're always going to have problems. You're never going to solve anything, because that's not true at all. You do solve things and you do improve, but there's always more opportunity for improvement, and it's an infinite skill ceiling for how good we can really be. And you can look at that in one way of like, well, I'm never going to be perfect, so I should just quit. Or you can look at it in another way that you can spend your entire life devoted to this, getting a little bit better every day and moving forward along the journey. And I think the big thing that separates those professional problems from the amateur problems is just experience. And as you get more experience, you level up and get more familiarity with things. For example, I don't have to think about chromatic fingerings at all like my wife does, but there are still some fingering situations where I have to take a second and think, what's going to be the best fingering here? I don't have to think about how to count most rhythms because I've seen them enough. I'm familiar enough with them that they come automatically. However, there are some rhythms that I still look at and I'm like, wait a second, like what's going on here? And I have to break it down and figure it out. So no matter what level you get to, there's always more opportunity for improvement. And that's what we're here to do is just take action, get a little bit better every single day, move forward, gain more experience, make more things natural and easy for us. And then we'll get to that next level with still the same notes, fingerings, sound quality, rhythm, phrasing, still all the same problems, just a different level of those problems. So that's my main sort of inspiration and motivation for you is don't work until your problems go away. Work until you get to a deeper level of the same problems. And maybe it's even better. Let's shift it. It's not problems, it's opportunities, right? 4 opportunities for improvement: rhythm, sound quality, notes, and style. Find ways to improve those a little bit all the time, and you'll be getting better. So, speaking of consistent action and improvement, I see Glenn posted on YouTube, AKP, always keep practicing. I love it. Yeah, just always practice. And a great way to do that is using our Monday Music motivation template. So if you don't have this template, you can check the link in the description, go to quickstartclarinet.com/get started and download it there. You can also just recreate it because it's very simple. It's the date for the week, reflection on how things went last week, your goal for this upcoming week, and then most importantly is that plan. You want to get in there, know what days you're practicing, what times you're practicing, put those into your calendar, put those into a planner, set 20 alarms so that you actually get in there and do the practicing that you have planned. And the nice thing is because we took the time to plan now, you're going to know exactly what you need to do when that time comes up. So right when this is done, take 5 minutes, fill this out, get your plan for the week, know what you're going to be doing so that you can actually keep moving forward and find those deeper, higher level problems that sort of move you towards the professional problems rather than the amateur problems. So hopefully this was helpful for you. Go fill out your template and I will see you next week. And I hope you all have a great week in your clarinet and music journeys.